I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years then. And after those couple years, I just genuinely missed accounting. I missed the work. I never left because I didn't like the work. I never left because I didn't like the people. It was just a really tough structure to raise a family in the way that I wanted to do that. And so I missed the work and accidentally got my first client. And then I accidentally started an accounting firm, which I said I would never do.
So how do you accidentally get your first client?
So my daughter was in Taekwondo. She was, I guess she would have been 6 at the time, 6 or 7. She was in Taekwondo, and the business owner of this Taekwondo studio just had a really good energy, really nice lady, just connected with her well. And I made an off the cuff comment like, hey, if you ever need help with accounting, let me know. I do that kind of stuff, which was it's kind of funny. Like, I do that kind of stuff. I had managed $2 billion budgets at a Fortune 50 company. And I'm, like, oh, I kind
Yeah.
of do accounting, right? Like, it's funny what we'll do with ourselves when we're in a different situation. And, and so, yeah. And immediately when I said it, she was like, great. When can you meet? And I was like, oh, she's like, I need help with my QuickBooks. And I had literally never seen QuickBooks because I didn't work at companies. I didn't audit companies that were using QuickBooks, right? I was auditing and working for companies with huge GLs and huge like SAP and all of the things.
Workday, Oracle, all
Yes,
that good stuff.
exactly. And so
Yeah.
she's like, I need help with QuickBooks. And I was like, oh, I'd better go learn QuickBooks. And so
So,
that was my first client.
and you figured it out.
I figured it out. Yeah.
Like you had like you said, you'd been working with $2 billion budgets. So this small
Yeah.
business, I mean, it must have been a little bit of an adjustment though, like because the type of accounting that we do for small businesses is very different in many ways
Yeah. I
from,
had never actually done cash basis accounting.
yeah.
And it's way easier.
Did you make the mistake at first of like trying to do the proper accrual accounting and realizing this is way too much work for the
Yeah,
effort? Or
yeah. I think I was
yeah,
just like, wow, I don't have to mess with all of the things that board of directors care about and
yeah.
CEOs care about. Like, this person in front of me cares how much money is in the bank at the end of the month. That's literally what they care about. And I can care about that too. And the accounting for that is different, but a little bit easier.
So you had one client to start, and then how did it grow, to 10 over those years? Were you
So it,
advertising? Were you like knocking on doors?
no, it grew
Yeah.
super slowly. I had committed that if I was going to work, I was only going to work when the kids were at school. And at the time I started the firm, they were 3 years old and 7, 3 and 7, and 3-year-olds. 3-year-old preschool is like, you drop them off, they have a snack and you pick them up. So I
Yeah.
was working on a margin of time that I had available. And so it was just every time that youngest went to more school, I then had an open door of more hours. And then I determined how many clients, if any, can I take on with these extra hours I now have. And so I literally was only growing as fast as preschool grew, and then half day kindergarten, and then full day first grade. And so it was this very slow process. And so I didn't even advertise. I didn't tell anybody I was doing anything probably for 3 years. I only started marketing halfway through my firm right now. And it was just like word of mouth that I'd be
Mm.
like in a carpool at Girl Scouts and I'd say that I did bookkeeping, and somebody would be like, oh, can you talk to so and so? And that would be how somebody would find out about me.
Mhm.
And that would be my second client and my third client. And eventually, when the floodgates of time opened up with full day school, both kids were in full day school, that's when I really started. I put up a website and I marketed and I started a newsletter and I did all the things to tell people I was available for CFO and bookkeeping work. And that's where, and it wasn't a flood. I was still I had I still have such strict boundaries because of the fear of going back to burnout, that
Mm.
like I'm always very slow at onboarding anybody. And not the onboarding's not slow. I will never onboard more than one person at a time. Like, it's always just a very methodical, intentional growth speed.